Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. Right, it's new project time. I've been sitting on a few projects for a few weeks, few months maybe. I've got loads of things I need to get on with and get doing, so let's start off with something I've actually already opened, but I think I might have already shown you another video earlier. Is things are bagged in here because it keeps the dirt off, and it's cold, it's January. You might see this later in the year and it's not January, but I bought this late on last year from a guy in Sheffield, so they popped down, wanted £35 for it. Spectrum Plus, plastic, in its box, done. Now, there are things wrong with this, he says. One, the box has got these holes in. He did actually say that he didn't know why he put the holes in, whether or not it was something to do with he wanted to keep it in the box, maybe keep it charged, well, not charged, I don't know, to do something extra with it, but I don't really know. There's a hole on top of there. I think there's a hole, so that lines up there, so that if that rotated around wouldn't match up, so I don't know why. I can fix that, to be honest. It is quite strange that you can actually fix old cardboard. You can put stuff in there and you can actually patch up a little bit. There are things that can be done. A little bit dirty, but then again, this is what, 1984, 85 probably? No date on here apart from Sinclair research in Cambridge. So it's an official, proper 1-year guarantee, valid in UK only. So let's get into this and see which way. I think I'll go in with the whole way and have a look. Now, original box, no reproductions, and we're upside down already. So, you ready for this? Yeah. Ta-da! Proper Sinclair, polystyrene as well. Hate polystyrene, goes straight through me. Original power supply for the TV and for the cassette player. Actually surprising with the amount of spectrums I've actually got in here. I don't have a cassette player. To play anything from a cassette, which I do have some cassettes, I use my +2 grey, which is great, which is fine, works absolutely spot on. But stuff, anything like this, I will use the Future Was 8-bit card, which will go into the card at the back, cost at the back. Thing is with these, there was nothing special on these other than they're a plastic keyboard on a motherboard, which was the original rubber keyed version. So this, to get one of these in, is just to add to the collection, I think. The only thing I'm actually missing is the toast rack. And if anybody out there watching this wants to give me a toast rack, I know it's a massive ask. If you've got one and you want to sell one at a reasonable price, then please get in touch. They go for a fortune. If it's not working, then it'd be an absolutely brilliant video to do. So I've not actually been inside a toast rack, the 128. Well, I've got 128, so I've got the black one, the grey one, the +3, which I've got the cassette player and the disc drive on the side, which is fine for the 128s. These are obviously 48Ks. Feels absolutely horrible. There's no aesthetic to tapping these. It's absolutely vile. The guy said that on this is the keyboard. I think some of the parts don't work. It's not actually the A key every so often doesn't work. It's actually full lines don't work. So I'm guessing the membrane has gone on this anyway. So my preventative maintenance is as follows. 1. Get to Petroleum. I'm going to replace where the keyboard goes in on both sides for the membrane. I have got a power supply I'm going to change. I have got myself already 2 kits for this anyway, so I'm sure another one will come on my way anyway. A recapping kit, that's the second one. Also comes with a composite mod, 2 voltage regulators, because another one will come my way. I think one of these, yeah, this one is just it's a part pack from another one. It might be a +3, oh, 128. So that's just parts anyway. So Retroleum's absolutely brilliant to go to for your parts. Do recommend them. If you want to send me something for free, love Retroleum. I love plugging. Also, seeing as this doesn't work and it's coming in from the side now, this is what I need to replace. They don't sell these for the 128. For the +2s, +3s, if anybody out there has them, can make them, you will make a fortune, and I will buy 3 off you straight away. Because the ones I've got here, they work fine, but I would like to put ones in there. And this one was, oh, I think it's from DataServe. It is an upgraded version, so this will fit in here perfect, right over there. It's a bit thicker, so I think that's why they wanted it, that's why they made it like this. So this will go in, you know, that way or not? No, it doesn't fit there. That's just silly, Ralph. So upgrading for this, it's an essential. These membranes do not last forever. So we're going to get into this, see what we can do. I'm going to take the top off this now, get rid of the box because I don't need anything. Power supply, I've already checked, it's perfectly fine. And we'll have a quick scout around and see if we can fix this. Out of the box. Now, to take these apart, there are 4 screws on the back, or are there 6? But I've already took them out anyway. And inside, I have already done a little bit of strip work down on this anyway. So you need to take those out of there. Be careful if you can, if they're already knackered, and to be honest, what I'm doing is these are coming off anyway, then fine. I've already took the feet out. The screws are as follows. There's more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 on this. Let's say these are exactly the same as your standard 48K rubber keyed versions, or 16K rubber keyed version, depending on how much RAM or whatever you've got on here, but they do have the reset button, and for some reason this one is a nice easy button. So I don't know what the other ones I've got are quite a press in for them. So internal, let's have a look inside, shall we? This actually looks quite nice, doesn't look too bad. I'm going to replace that. I took the screw off that one anyway. Replace that. Replace all of these caps. Do the composite mod. Changing the keyboard membrane is another thing completely. I'm going to take off this metal plate here. These cable holders, which will actually squash in these parts anyway, so they can make a contact on there. Which is quite weird really, but hey ho. Goes in the opposite way than what that is. So there's a lot of work to do. It's nice work, to be honest. It's nice relaxing work. So I can play. It doesn't look like there's any much problems with this anyway. But I have put this to the TV through the composite, through the modulator there, and it doesn't look good. So I'm guessing some of these caps might have gone. Don't think that's any problem. I can't see anything that's majorly wrong with it. The Ferranti chip, the ULA chip, does look quite shiny. So a possible maybe that has gone. If that's a replacement, then so be it. It'll be one of them things that, well, we'll have to do eventually, but it doesn't look a bad board really. So what I need to do is I have other videos about recapping spectrums anyway. I'm not going to bore you with them just now. I mean, a lot of these projects are done over days, weeks, sometimes months. So I will be plodding along with this at my own leisure and showing you bits and bats. You don't have to come back at a later date to see what's going on, because I'll cut this between it anyway. So it's the start of the Spectrum Plus, and we'll see how far, or if we can get this fixed properly, or if there's any problems with diodes being the wrong way around, like on the grey version. Anyone wanting to see there, it is an issue 6A. I do like these. These are impossible sort of machines for me to figure out how they work. And to be honest, it's actually quite clean in here. That's quite impressive. Now, I don't fully understand how these work, but this is the whole point of the channel, is if I can do this, you can too. And if you don't feel confident, there's always a shop out there. If not, get in touch with me and I'll do a video for you, like I did for with the PlayStation 3. Try and fix that one. That went perfectly well. It was just somebody putting too many things in the disk drive. So let me get started, and we'll come back to this in a few moments. First job on the Spectrum. I have the keyboard. I'm not sure if I want to take this to pieces, see what's crap underneath here. I don't think there's anything major underneath anyway. It's not bad condition, this, but the membrane wants replacing, so hence the new membrane. Take it out. 4 screws there, holding these two as like cable grips, so you don't rip this entire thing out, even though it tears down here. It's yeah. And then really do all of these 10 screws on there. Release, swap over. This is a lot thicker. I'll show you this when we get this out. And I'll show you the difference on the thickness and thinness of this. So, leave me to get screwing, and yeah, or unscrewing, and we'll get this swapped over. All screws out. This metal plate, I was hoping this might have been easier to polish, but it looks filthy, but it's not. It's the weirdest sort of metal, but just for a weight to hold things down. Then you're left with this piece of plastic here, which probably protects the membrane, which it's failed to do anyway. And then underneath, membrane. I don't know exactly which parts don't work on this. He did actually say, the guy who got this from, that lines on the actual keyboard don't work, so I'm not going to faff around. It could be up here, it could be any of these joints, it probably where that was there. I've sellotaped that part on just to attempt to fix, but didn't work. I don't think that's anything, that's just a plastic cover for all of these. It could even be what this, actually, to be honest, there looks like there's a crack across these 3 cables there. So it could be anything really, but the quality wise, look, original Spectrum and the repurposed, the redone one, and it's just, it's completely different. It's miles better. I mean, I think the guy who did these, there was two separate ones that he does. One's cheaper, one's a little bit more expensive, but quality on that is absolutely spot on. So this goes in the bin, and let's get this the right way around. Now it worries me a little bit on these parts here. You've got, it kind of comes off, but it has to connect, so that must be squashed into there. Now my problem is your rubber membrane, which is all here, and then your keys underneath, key presses. I don't need to take any of those out, they're absolutely fine, but you have to hold this up in the air so these don't push in. Oh, that's the worst, that's the least of my problems. Make sure you line up. We've got a peg there, got a peg over here, all the screw holes all over. So what I'm going to do, put the card over, again, line it up with the peg, and peg there, and there, and you can line up again, pin and pin. So that should be okay lined up. Try and get one screw in. again, these are, well, I said on videos before, these are old plastics. Please be careful if you're going to do this yourself. If you're going to over torque anything, then you'll break them. That's just rolling over the X with the head of the screw, which is fine for me. I don't care. It's not rounding off the head, it's just not forcing down too much, and that's more than secure. You've got 10 screws on here, so it's going to be more than secure to be on there anyway. And that worries me a little bit, putting that down there, but I'll be gentle with it once I've got these screws in place holding the back on. So let me get on with doing this. I'll put those cable retain, they must be just for holding things back. Make sure you don't rip them out. Help out a little bit. And just see if this all works. Right, the feel is good. Nothing seems to be out of place. It's all lined up. And let me get on with putting this back together again. I'm back together. So that's the first job done. Both ribbon cables will come round. And I'm quite happy, really. I'm so happy. That'll be good. What is it? It'll be good. So, top half's done, and mine, well, it's not actually bad, to be honest, the case on this. Looks okay. I can see it's a tiny bit dirty, but I think it's way acceptable. So we'll leave that as is, and let's get onto the main part of this. Now, what do I need to do in here? I've got in here, I've got lots of parts, got screws and everything, so I don't need that for a bit. That needs to come out, that's come out, so I'll get rid of the base. Right, we have connector. Not that one. Connector, that one. Composite mod, power cable, or power connector. Voltage regulator. I think that's another spare one for something. Yeah, because I've got 2 of each. So they can go for another day for another project. And I'm sure I'll come with another Spectrum eventually anyway. So let's get started doing this. Look, I'm actually looking forward to doing this. I'm quite like that. I want to put this out of the way to start with, but I also need to do the composite mod on here as well. So that needs to come off. Unsolder both of these, and then the resistor onto there. Then there's a, I think it's either with a composite mod, you use the capacitor, or yeah, there's a capacitor there, or there's 2 diodes, and you split the legs off. So one goes into that hole there, one goes into that hole there, and one goes into the output for here. So you don't have to mod anything. You keep the RF modulator as it is as a chassis, but it's completely disconnected from this, from the board. So we've got a lot of work to do, to be honest, but I'll start with a few easy things, I think. Issue 2, what issue's mine? Issue 6A. Okay, so what he'll do at Retrolium, or is it, oh, I forgot the shop where I bought them from. It's for all different versions, so you just make sure you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 caps to decap and replace. So let me get on with this. When you see this next, it'll be all nicely finished, nicely done. I'm doing that, doing that, doing that, doing all the blue caps, and hopefully this will work very, very well indeed. So let's see in a few, yeah. I'll carry on doing this. I'll probably about an hour or 2. Meanwhile, a couple of hours later, and I've finished. Right, you can see the circuit board. They're all these. Every part over here has been changed. The power supply, the regulator, the connectors for the motherboard, all the caps. There were blue ones. This seemed alright, but it's always preventative maintenance replacing them. So they're all on, they're all in, they're all done, they're all the right way around, surprisingly for me. So I don't know if any of these, I know with the +2, the grey version, we've got one on the shelf over there. It does have faults with the diodes the wrong way around. I don't think these do. I think these are perfectly fine. So everything is in place, everything does look good, everything is very nicely solid. My only problem is with this reset button, it's just in the bloody way all the time. So I've done the composite mod. Let me get you into there. It's the one with, let me show you. You undo this, you unsolder this resistor here. You put a bar through. It's with the diode on the side here. You know, so the flat edge goes towards the RF modulator. Center pin goes in this hole here. The bottom pin with the flat side against here. Ignore that cable. The flat side against the RF modulator. This bottom one goes into this hole here, and then the other third pin of the diode goes up in and connects to the center of the RF modulator. So you get an RF signal through your video out only. I have done before with, I think it was the +2s, I'm not sure if it will work with this or not, that you can get an audio out from these. It might only be the +2s, I'm not quite sure. But I've had an audio out which goes to the TV from, one's a microphone, obviously it's input, and one's output speakers. So it will possibly might work. Worst case is you're going to have to go down to where the speaker is, get a cable from there, and then rig off somewhere else an audio output. Somewhere else further up here, wire one in. But that's the absolute worst case. The best case is just you leaving the speaker in place and letting it beep at you. So, yeah. So far, I'm happy with it. It's a bit weird because you've got stuff like these bridge wires. Now, let me show you one before it goes out of focus fully. That one there. They're not a straight across piece of wire. They're kind of bent upwards quite a bit. I can get loads of stuff in there. Let me see if I can get you an angle. There. It's kind of, it arches upwards. So it must be just the style of the person who's actually doing this. So, I don't know. It's a bit weird, really. So, whoever person who originally did this, it's their style. I'll get a bend of cable and in it goes. It seems to work, but it's like a bit over here. I've got a massive gap under here. Every single one of them got big gaps. So they're being flushed to the board. I'm not changing it. It'll stay as it is. But so far, it's all gone well. Now, I did try this before, and the signal wasn't very good from the TV through the RF modulator. So I'm hoping with doing this, it does actually do quite well. Now, what I need to do now is, this is obviously reversible. To put it back to originally, fine, but the resistor in there is just disconnected. The two signal parts on here go to earth, but the only thing that this is connected to is your earth. There's no power, there's no nothing, so you just put the lid back on and ignore it. These two cables are now pinned in out of the way, they're not touching anything, and the diode does all the hard work to do with giving you a video signal. So, yeah. And lots of nice little things here. Loads of goodies, caps and other bits, which are going straight into the bin, because there's no need for them. So they're now gone. I think the next part is... Actually, I don't know, I think we're done. So recapping, composite mod, put this out of the way. It's just reassembly and testing now. So let's get on with that. I'm having something to eat in a minute because I've been at this for a little while. I'm going to put things back together, or at least maybe test this board so it can do what it needs to. Put a power supply on it, put the cable for an RF modulator, which is, well, the video out. Yeah, let's start testing, I think. Do I need anything else? Done, done. Done, done, done. Okay, a lot of people won't do the ribbon cable connectors, but I feel it's a lot better doing it. They're more solid, they're actually double-sided, these ones as well. So it doesn't matter which way you solder them in, don't matter which way you do them, they look a lot better and they will be in and very solid when I get round to it. But yeah, let's power this up and see if it actually works. First testing. My trusty grey power supply for the Spectrum, it's over here somewhere. Composite mod, in, on, done, sorted. Right, again, apologies for not doing the video capture thing, but this is a live, what I'm doing sort of thing, and I can't really figure a better way of doing this anyway. So, bring down the TV, let's turn on the switch for the power. Okay, that doesn't help. Ah, there we go. Aha, Sinclair Research Limited. That's the part from that you can see, I can see there's lines on here going downwards, not the strange TV effect, which is what's going on here. But she's on, she's there. So reset again, gone black. Yeah. She's actually working really well. It's not, I'm never going to get a perfect picture from this because they're old systems and whatever else. But that's not bad for me. I'm quite happy with that. So what I need to do is chuck this inside the casing, and we've actually done really well. I remember this picture beforehand. I wish I'd actually recorded something with this, and the picture was absolutely shocking. And I don't know what was wrong with this. Oh, that is quite tight. New socket. But there was something definitely not right, and I don't know why. But that's definitely cured it. There might be a little bit of a hiccup on the starting. As you saw then, there was a case of it didn't fully boot properly. But I think it's because it's not been on. With a quick reset, worked perfectly fine. I don't know, unless there is a ROM fault or RAM fault, could be anything. But at the minute, if it's working as well as what that did, the reset, it comes on, I'm perfectly happy with it, and it'll go on the shelf, display, and it's good for me. So let me get this. Let me get the case for this. Actually, while you're there, yes, right. So it's reassembly. You can see the difference between a standard rubber keyed Spectrum and this. It's just made it bigger, so you get a bigger keyboard on top of it. Right, what we need is my box of tricks now. Ah, I was looking for that. Oh, composite mod. I was going to do that one for this one instead. Ah well, I'll do that for another one. It's the capacitor version. Well, this is a diode version. Exactly the same sort of situation, done. But yeah, I forgot about it. So what I need to do is, right, that needs to go through. Reconstruct this with the heatsink and put back together, and we're almost done. Come across a little bit of a problem. Nothing major. I've forgotten where my screws go. Now, as I said before, these videos might last for days, weeks, months sometimes. And this was started and I've forgotten where they go. So I'm guessing there and there. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, 7 and 8. So that would hold this part of the motherboard down, but wouldn't hold this part. Because it's... really must write down where things go in future. So we've got the cables. Now, will these go in? That's lovely and thick. That is lovely. So will these go in fine? God, I hope so. I'm glad I put it right way around as well. Oh, I do recommend going to Retroleum. That felt, oh, that feels secure and safe, but also easy enough to take out when you want to. So it's really petroleum for the parts. I think it was petroleum when I got the, I forgot the feet. Alright. Petroleum's where I got all the parts from, the bits and bats, the capacitors and the bits. These are very important because they're the springs for the feet. They go that way and that way. No, underneath there. That way. Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant, Petroleum. Even on his website, he has lots of things which you will need, shall we say. There's one screw, black screw, which had a flat edge. The rest had the oddball one. So I'm going to put that in there because it kind of looks flush. Again, be careful. There, it seemed to grip. You heard a little bit from the screwdriver then. That. I don't want to put anything special on here, any pressure at all. So just want to grip it and that's it. There. That little bit of more force. You'll feel it when you screw it. Double entendre central. You will feel it when you do. That was too much. That's better. You've got to be careful with these, Ralph. God's sake. See, this screwdriver has a torque setting on it. But even on torque 1, it doesn't seem to do enough. So it's kind of a little bit... It saves me a lot of hassle, this screwdriver. And it's good, it has the... There's a review online if you want to look about a Tank Life screwdriver. There you go. Done. Done. Now what I want to do is... Oh, that empty box. What I want to do is plug this in. A little bit of dirt there. Not as good a cleaner as what I think, am I? Let's test this. Let's get this in. We know that's the RF now. I need to put a sticker on there. I think everything of mine is now RF modulated. RF. Or upgraded at least. Earphone. Give me a second. I need to look for... I've got adapters which change the phono to a headphone socket, which is a 3.5mm mono socket. Let me get one for that and see if the television will do anything. This is back up to as we want it now. And I'll get the Future Wiz 8-bit card into the back of here as well. See if we can play some games from it. Excited. Nearly there. We're all back together. We're all done. We're all sorted. All I need to do now is test, put things out of the way. Right. Let's turn this on. So switch in on. I've got the DivX card there. Oh, okay. So I'll press the button on there. Right, here we go. Right. Keyboard, does it work? Oh, up and down. Right, so we'll go for ZX because that's what I put on the card. I want... Oh, what's the one? Not Iridium. Equinox. It's my go-to game. EQ. I want right. Next page. EQ. Past it. Up, up, up. It is my go-to game. This is just... Three. Now ZX, is it? That works. Don't know what the buttons are. Just didn't find the keys. Alright, so that's up. Where's left? Well, I've not defined the keys, I'm sorry, but this works absolutely brilliant. Get in. So, with the... Actually, do you not hear that then? That's from the television. That's from the speaker. See, I use a double phono to mono because that's what this kicks out is mono. So there's no point to put both of your left and right into there and then put it in the earphone socket. And it goes perfect. Done. Another, all I can say is that is another Spectrum saved from the bin. And fine properly, there you go. There we have it. I've done it again, boys and girls. Yes, done it again. And I'm really happy because this one's in the box. I need to repair a little bit on the box, maybe faff around, but I have got a plus, a 48K plus. Oh, the picture's absolutely amazing. Sorry, the picture's so good. The composite mod. For what it is, that is so good. There's bits on here where I can see it looks a bit... Things are rolling around, but for a system like this, this is absolutely spot on my television. Yeah, I am. I am happier than a pig in the poop, shall we say. But, yeah, done and sorted. Oh, get in. Right, I'm going to have something to eat because I've earned it, I think. So, thank you for watching. Have a great week. I'll see you in another video. Follow me on social media, please. Like and subscribe and all that usual gubbins and whatever else. And, yeah, that's another Spectrum for my collection. That's working perfect. And I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye for now.